A move is
a new chapter of life to be written.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
And we are honored that for over 35 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing in real estate, really 35 years of building faith, of building fun, of building fitness, of building finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. We're going to discover embracing the possibilities of a fresh start might be the right choice.
Yeah, I think our environment, right? Our environment of our next location can actually improve our life situation. I'm thinking of some families where we've either moved both the husband and wife or just one of them into a senior's residence from living either alone or together in a house where they were... What's the word?
I have a word.
Yeah,
existing.
Existing. Yeah,
existing.
It
wasn't working.
No, they're living in it. They're surviving, but they're not thriving. And they resist going into a retirement home because of the image. And I think there's a difference between a long-term care facility and a retirement residence. Because you go into some of the retirement residences and they're vibrant. People are vibrant. There's social things going on. There's cards. There's piano playing. There's singing. There's games, and it's like
a country club.
Yeah, more like a country club. Yeah, and sometimes we've seen people who were just existing, hanging on to a house because it was all they knew. Mm-hmm. And then they go and they thrive. Their health improves. Their mental health improves. Mm-hmm. Their energy, their enthusiasm, everything improves.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, especially if one maybe has been taking care of another. They've been their caretaker because their health has gotten really poor. And they're spending all their time caring for that person. When they get someone else to care for them, it opens up.
It does. And sometimes it's not necessarily to assisted living or more than a little bit of assistance, a lot or a little. It could just be to an apartment. Other times the right move is just a bungalow. Sometimes the right move is a condo. For some of our clients, what we've seen is that there's an even interim move. Right. There is that move that will work for the next 3 to 5 years, but it's too much to go to the full and probably inevitable step all in one swallow swoop. Mm-hmm. And so it isn't, and is that financially is great? Maybe not. And yet the financial conversation is just a piece of the conversation. Yep. It's not the whole conversation. So we want to look at in all of the situations that life brings us, and hopefully it does bring us some situations, because otherwise we're not here navigating them, right? Because life brings us situations. Mm-hmm. And so as it brings us those situations, there is not, as I've said before, a one size fits all.
No, and that's why they want to call me, me, 613-867-6058. Give me a call if you want to talk to Yetta, or I think you're best suited to talk with Yetta. We'll move you to Yetta, or I'll keep talking with you, whichever you feel comfortable with.
Well, and even with the kids, Candace and Ryan have been, although they're much younger than we are, they've now been in the industry pretty much a decade and a half each. Can you believe that?
That's hard to believe.
Like, that's our children. Mm-hmm. Our children. I made them if you're watching, I made them about 3 feet tall right now. They're not 3 feet tall. They're not, neither of them are quite as tall as we are. Well, Ryan's a little shorter than Ken, and Candace is shorter than me.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how it happened either. However, they've been in the industry a long time, and sometimes they're the perfect fit to walk through the journey with somebody, and sometimes it takes all four of us. Like, right?
Mhm.
It's not necessarily it's a custom fit. It's not a constant fit.
Yeah, for sure. And you talked about a move is a way to write your next chapter,
Yeah.
right? It's really
Sometimes
about
it is.
what's next. Like being excited about what's next can really make a difference.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's hard.
And it's not all about health. It could be financial situations. It could be marital situations. It could be a lot of other things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
And each of them takes a tailored, custom approach. Some softer than others.
Yep. And always the common theme always, as we see, is when the house changes, when you move from one location to another, whether it's in a different town, a different city, the same town, just down the street, but whenever the house changes, you get a chance to rewrite your story. That next chapter is written differently. It's amazing how housing affects our being.
Even though they say a house is just 4 walls until we turn it into a home.
That's right, because when you're in it, it's a home. And you make it a home. And like we said earlier, there's memories in that home. There's triggers and there's glimmers. Glimmers are, right?
Yeah.
Glimmers.
Yeah.
Glimmers are a trigger, but they create happiness as opposed to anger or sadness. And so the house is full of those. And sometimes it's holding you back. And sometimes it takes a move to start writing the next chapter of your life.
And if you're thinking, well, that's not me, I'm in great shape, but I know somebody that needs to have a phone call, do it gently. Approach us, approach them, see if you can make a connection. Because sometimes when we're too close to the situation, or as I say it, sometimes when we're in the frame, meaning I'm in the picture of my life, I can't see beyond the picture of my life.
Right.
So sometimes, not that we want to interfere in other people's lives, and yet at times we can see things they can't see because they're too close. They're inside the frame, as I would say. And so if that's what's going on, then gently suggest and see if you can just even get a quick visit or a quick call. With us, with them. And no, but we're never going to force anybody to do a thing.
No.
We're just going to, again, allow the options to be available and move forward the conversation at a pace that makes sense to that particular person. When we need to move fast, we'll move fast. You've probably noticed that all 3 segments have been slower. We've spoken slower. We haven't been as upbeat. We haven't been as silly or jovial because it warrants a different way of showing up. And we didn't plan that. It just naturally happens when you're in a different state or environment. So when we need to move fast, we'll move really, really fast. When we need to talk fast, we'll talk really, really fast. And when it needs to be slowed down, we're going to slow it down.
Yeah. We're going to be there for you or someone you love. And if someone that you know is in a situation that requires a change or some sensitive listening, give us a call at 613-867-6058. Because together, when we move forward, together we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker